just as lending with unreasonable interest is not much better than stealing. Borrowing away Nigeria.
My people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to NewsNookChronicle. Depending on where you are watching us from, please, I want you to do me a favor. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, please, I beg you, do well to give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to this channel, and then share this video. Don't forget to do what? To share this video as we bring to you trending news to your doorstep. Something very important is happening. I believe we are all aware of what is going on in the country, how we are being led by Tinubu's regime. There is something that happened I want to bring to your notice. Yes, to your notice. And if we don't see things from a different perspective, we won't really understand. So I would just want you to go through it, give us your own perspective, how you see this thing, and then let's come in from there. In this video, I will also be playing an audio of someone, name withheld, but we are going to hear his audio and then hear what he has to say. Yes, what he has to say. A lot of secret was revealed, but I'm going to just give us this briefing and then give us some comments before we now hear the audio, and then we'll see your comments in the comment section. The write-up says Tinubu and his gangs are currently milking the NNPCL dry using Oando PLC. They were recently paid $325 million US. That's over 480 billion naira to OVH. My God, the operators of Oando PLC. The operators of Oando PLC. You see, the truth is a lot is happening and we don't really know our left from our right this time around again. We don't really know. We don't really know. So please, I want you to listen to this audio. It's a video, but I just want to put up the audio. So I want you to listen to it. Then after listening to it, we come back again to this. I'm going to read some comments and then we're all for now. So listen to this audio.
Consistent borrowing is much better than begging, just as lending with unreasonable interest is not much better than stealing. Borrowing away Nigeria. Just last week, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general election in Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, raised some pertinent questions about the NNPC Limited $3.33 billion forward sale agreement loan with a pledge of 90,000 barrels per day that they took from Afrexim Bank at the rate of 12% interest rate to cushion the naira. NNPC, though, in his response, claimed that the question raised by Atiku were already answered in the release announcing the loan, and that being a private entity, it doesn't need the National Assembly's approval to secure a loan. Fair enough, you would say. But now here are my layman also questions. So I beg, follow me small. Why was the forward sale of crude not done with one of the largest commodity trading companies in the world, like Vitol, Trafigura, Mercura, Glencore, and Co.? At least we all know that those trading companies will not be charging financing charges or interest rates of more than 12% from NNPC on sale of crude. They won't even charge interest. They would also charge the said 2% for forward sale because it won't be a financing deal, even though we know that interest rate in the West is less than 2% in most cases today. Also, the transaction fee of $67 million that went into private pockets of the banks that brokered the deal wouldn't have been paid if the transaction was a commodity trade or a bit another way of settling election expenses. And NNPC MD also securing his job. You know, remember Emefiele in 2019 with the Metiala deal. Anyway, well, time get plenty things to explain to us. So I beg, just follow me small like this. It's a bit technical, but you will understand so that we all ask the same question. Why is NNPC borrowing for the federal government of Nigeria when they are not a borrowing or lending outfit? All they simply could have done would have easily increased their production from the miserable 1.3 million barrels per day to 2.3 million barrels per day. And with the oil prices hovering around $90 per barrel, they would have increased the forest available to the federal government. That would have increased the forest available to the federal government. And there will be no need to borrow at such a high interest rate. These are my layman question. So how much of this said 3.3 billion borrowed to help the Naira, how much has it helped the Naira? Because it was less than 1K to $1 when NNPC entered into that transaction. But today, the Naira is hovering around 1,400 Naira to $1. So if care is not taken, we are going to see, if all these questions are not asked, we're going to see more of our oil being mortgaged for transactions of this nature, all in the name of forward sale or agreement to hedge the Naira. That is why NNPC, with a profit of 2.5 trillion Naira in 2022, had a liability of 2.1 trillion in the same year, 926 billion in unpaid royalty, and 1.2 trillion in unpaid taxes. Remember, NNPC's stake in Dangote Refinery is valued at $2.7 billion, out of which the outstanding $1.7 billion will be paid for using the same method, forward sale of 300,000 barrels per day of our crude. Also, there is another loan of $1 billion from Lekki Refinery Funding Limited, which was incurred at $36 million as cost of transaction. And yet, the total loan will be paid to the lender in crude of 35,000 barrels per day. Come on. All of this is mind-boggling. As we they borrow, people they clean out cost of transaction. I don't even want to talk about the NNPC deal of 8,000 barrels per day of our crude oil to secure the $300 million gas asset from Chevron, or the 114 billion naira when NNPC said they spend on repairs and maintenance. How about the 193 billion on transport and traveling, and 267 billion naira on security? And then the other one went off me. No explanation for this. 496 billion on miscellaneous. See how our cash just the flow. They go. And remember, we only have 445,000 barrels per day committed to our daily consumption. So what all this means is that soon all of our daily production will be unavailable to FAC, as we have a backlog of cash call to pay. Also, the IOCs are allowed to take cost of oil and royalty oil before sharing whatever small change will remain with the country. So from my small binoculars here, in my layman, the hardship ahead of us, it tire apart like Lekki traffic. And as the dollar they run, they go without availability of forest. Lastly, I want to ask, NNPC in its last audited statement of account, with a reserve of 24.7 billion barrels, has a total crude oil production entitlement of about 500,000 barrels per day, and recorded an operating profit of $1.6 billion. While Petrobras, with a reserve of 10.4 billion barrel crude, generated production entitlement of 2.6 million barrels per day and recorded an operating profit of $57 billion. I don't even want to talk about the operating profit of Saudi Aramco, which is $305 billion compared to our $1.6 billion. Abina Petronas with $31 billion, and Qatar Energy with operating profit of $26.7 billion. And we they hear the shout say we they make profit. We they deceive ourselves. I will therefore advocate, apart from the fact that NNPC could do much better with the level and quality of its disclosure than just posting scanned copies of its audited account on its website as advised by a renowned analyst and economist, Waziri Adio, NNPC should increase its crude oil production exponentially instead of this unnecessary borrowing and settling middlemen, as about 46% of its 1.7 trillion naira of the profit in the audited account came from income outside of crude oil. And remember, its income and performance will tremendously impact on the foreign exchange flow into the country and oil revenue available to the federal government. And subsequently also, the forests available to all of us will improve overnight. These things are not magic. I don't know why somebody's not thinking. Anyway, make I pause here for your comment, maybe insults and observation.
All right, if you are done listening to that audio, please stay on this channel, watch to the end. Somebody now made this statement and say, how did OVH CEO become NNPC retail MD? Things they happen for Nigeria. Oh. Things they happen. Seriously, things are happening. And we will be very shocked at the kind of things that happen in this country. Stockman, MD of NNPC Retail, becomes Moman chairman. Isong returns as CEO for second term. He returned as yes, Isong returned as CEO for second term. Imagine what somebody else came to say. I don't know if this is a mockery or if it's really a comment, but I don't really know. The person went ahead, but everybody is entitled to their own opinion, you know. So we can't really, we don't have anything to say. The person is entitled to his or her opinion. The person went ahead to say, let us all bear, please. It is only a matter of time before Jagaban will set things straight. Are you serious? Are you for real? I doubt if this person is in Nigeria. I doubt, because if you are in Nigeria, I don't think such statement will be made. I don't think. Somebody came up and said, they should continue. But that's just what we have to say. Somebody came up and said, it is well. Oh. Another person said, it's all we ever do. And so the matter ends. Being a Nigerian is a disadvantage. Every administration wants to make the oil money and will do whatever they would to facilitate it. The vested interest to loot is why there can't be a real reform despite new oil policy legislations, and it's presided over by a president. The level of corruption is beyond remedying. Another person said it's madness to expect transparency and good governance from career criminals, merchantiles, and rent seekers who create nothing and add no value. Buhari and his goons have chopped Nigeria's crude. Now Tinubu and his goons are doing their south-south. They collect environmental pollution. It is well. Somebody now said, one, OVH is initial of 3 companies that purchased Oando. Downstream retail in 2015. Hence, it is not possible for Newell Oil to buy OVH free of charge from the 3 companies. 2. As regards lease, if you lease your land to me, does that take away the value of my asset on the land? Ignoramus. No surprise, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is only continuing from where Bubu stopped. Bubu turned NNPC to NNPCL to seize accountability and have direct access to oil proceeds. Emilocon is in the process of turning NNPCL to OVH. Same motives. Nigeria will learn the hard way. Now still money we are still taking our baby steps. With all this crisis, what is MTN using to help Nigeria? The company highest customer, or are they just here to make and take back to develop their own country and economy? What about the president's first and foremost subsidies gone policy? Only for Nigeria to find out months later from IMF that government is still paying subsidies. So tell me, where is the transparency? You see, to the best of my knowledge, there's no transparency. Yes, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. In my own opinion, there is nothing like transparency. We've not seen it. It has never happened before, and I don't think it will happen any moment soon. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. But this Momo man, who they talk this rubbish supporting Tinubu, there aren't and there won't be enough details to carry out a successful value for money audit. That's VMA. Unfortunately, the transaction volume requires a great deal of transparency, which is an unknown concept in the country. Please, the comments are too much. I can't be reading it. But I want you to drop your own comment in the comment section. Yes, drop your own comment in the comment section. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Please, if you're not subscribed, do us to subscribe, share, give us a like.